Posey.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and thank you for holding this important hearing today about NASA's fiscal year 2022 budget proposal. Administrator Nelson will help NASA remain a leader in our nation's future space endeavors, including our deep space exploration program that will return American astronauts to the moon and beyond on American hardware. I'm also delighted that Administrator Nelson appointed NASA Kennedy Space Center's Director, Bob Cabana, to be the new Associate Administrator. And congratulations to you again, Administrator Nelson, on your unanimous confirmation to your job. As a former senator from Florida, you're keenly aware of the importance of NASA centers. In 2010, you were one of the leading champions of using existing shuttle hardware, workforce, and facilities to develop SLS after the cancellation of the shuttle. Your rationale at the time was to prevent an exodus of talent and smooth the transition from one system to another. While the Space Coast certainly experienced its share of hardship during that period of time, we've seen significant progress made at the Kennedy Space Center in many areas. Exploration ground systems are preparing for the first launch of SLS, and the center has adopted a multi-user spaceport approach to accommodate multiple commercial users, which many people never imagined could possibly happen not that long ago. Can you speak to what progress has been made and what you see for the future at the Kennedy Space Center and our human spaceflight program?
Congressman, my home congressman, representing the Space Coast, and it's a place that I grew up. It's a place that my grandparents, under the Homestead Act in the early part of the last century, actually homesteaded, worked the land, and under the Homestead Act, if you worked the land for 4 years continuously, the government would deed you 160 acres. I have a copy of that deed signed by Woodrow Wilson to my grandmother, and that 160 acres today is at the north end of the Space Shuttle runway at the Kennedy Space Center. So thank you, Congressman, for your representation. The Kennedy Space Center and the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station has unlimited possibilities. The place is throbbing with excitement. All those old abandoned launch pads from the early days of Gemini and Mercury and Apollo and all the various other military missions, abandoned pads, they are coming to life. They are launching new rockets. In addition, it is, as you stated, a multi-use spaceport. And we are seeing the blending of the commercial operations along with the government operations, both military, intelligence, and civilian. I give you as much detail as you want, but it's an exciting future. And that's happening at all the NASA centers and facilities. Take, for example, Wallops, a launch facility in Virginia. Most of the people live in Maryland. It is just exciting with all of the medium weight launches that they are doing from there. So there are unlimited possibilities all over the United States.
With the recent achievement of getting a core stage vertical and stacked between the solid rocket boosters and the VAB, has NASA been able to use that as a major milestone to help set a launch date for Artemis?
Artemis is going to go in November. That's the schedule.
Okay.
We know that space is hard, and you don't want to do it not in a safe manner. So it's always possible there's going to be delays. But by the way, Madam Chair, I think y'all ought to have a Codell to come down and see the most powerful rocket ever. This rocket is as tall as the Saturn V, but it puts a punch out of much greater liftoff thrust than anything that's ever launched on planet Earth.
Thank you for your leadership, Administrator Nelson. Madam Chair, I yield back.